Wow, escaping was easier than I thought. I even managed to grab everything I need. I got some food, some matches, firewood, and some entertainment.
The original Game & Watch was inspired by a businessman playing with his calculator while riding on the train. Toys and games designer Gunpei Yokoi, the father of the modern D-pad and the man who basically built part of the foundation of Nintendo as we know it today, saw this businessman tapping away on his calculator to pass the time on their trip. Gunpei Yokoi then came up with the idea of a watch that includes a game that could be used to pass the time on trips like these. Thus, the concept for the Game & Watch was born. The first Game & Watch containing the Game Ball was released in 1980 and led the way for a lot of different games and versions of the Game & Watch. The series ultimately came to a close in 1991 with the last game titled Mario the Juggler, which was a clone of the first Game & Watch Game Ball but featured Mario. Through the Game & Watch lifespan, it sold more than 43 million units worldwide and led Nintendo into the video game industry. In 2020, Nintendo surprised its fans with a new release of a Game & Watch system in commemoration with the 35th celebration of the Mario series. The new Game & Watch featured the classic design with a modern updated screen and contained the first Mario game. So, guess what we got 1 year later in celebration of The Legend of Zelda's 35th anniversary?
Such original.
Game & Watch, The Legend of Zelda series. Nintendo spoiled us once again, but this time,
The back glows.
the system comes beautifully packaged in a premium feeling golden colored box, covered with a see-through plastic cover with some designs on it. Upon opening the box, you are greeted by the instructions booklet and a code for some Nintendo points. The package includes a very green colored Game & Watch system, and the shortest USB-C cable Nintendo could find. The system's design is practically a clone of the Mario version of the Game & Watch, but with the Legend of Zelda themed features and games. Instead of having a back arm to use as a stand for the system like the old Game & Watches did, Nintendo has included the feature to fold the cardboard box to become a stand. Upon booting, you get a nice picture of Link and a squishy Triforce. The system features an ugly clock with Link fighting enemies.
Cool, now I don't need this anymore.
You can press buttons to jump in at any time and take control of Link, or leave the system alone and Link will return to auto-fighting the enemies. There is a playable timer where you can choose a time to count down while fighting waves of enemies in the style of Zelda 2. Once you get a hang of this game, it's quite fun to play during short waiting times. You can play a Link-themed version of the classic Game & Watch game Vermin, where you have to move left or right in order to whack Octoroks before they pop out of the ground. This game is another great time killer and gets faster and faster the more points you score. It features a Game A, which is the standard game, a Game B which starts on a higher difficulty level, and a Game C, which you can unlock by holding the A button for 5 seconds on the game's title screen, and it is brutally hard. The cream of the crop included on the system are the 3 Legend of Zelda games. You can choose to play the game in different language versions by changing the options in the Game Select menu. The first featured game included on the system is the original Legend of Zelda, a true classic that still holds up till today and offers hours of fun for people familiar with the game. But having never completed the game before, my only problem with it is,
I don't know what I'm doing.
the game story is basically that Ganon stole the Triforce of Power. Zelda split the Triforce of Wisdom into 8 pieces and hid them away from Ganon, and then proceeded to get captured by him. Now, Link, or whatever you end up calling yourself, has to go and find the pieces of a Triforce that Zelda hid away and save her. Oh, and look, here are all the treasures you can collect on your way. Read the manual. You start the game and get cornered by the scariest question of them all.
Who are you?
Cupcake. So the game drops Cupcake into the world. You can go in any direction, but having played the start of this game before, Cupcake knows that he should enter the big black hole. You then find a stranger who is like, "Danger! Take this!" And then he disappears. Okay, what now? You basically have to wander around the world looking for a dungeon to solve a puzzle, fight the boss and get a piece of a Triforce. Navigating around the world can be confusing. The whole game is a riddle for first time players and feels like you need a guide to be able to learn how to enjoy the experience. I've tried to play this game so many times over the years and just never could get the hang of it. There are so many secrets hidden everywhere in this game. How am I supposed to find them all on my own? I'm sure if I watched the playthrough a single time, I would enjoy the game a lot more, but
nah.
The next game included is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. You either love this game or completely ignore it. It is a direct sequel to the first game.
But it's sideways.
Being the follow-up to the first game, this one feels completely different. You once again take on the role as Cupcake on an adventure to save Zelda. The game is actually a lot bigger than I initially thought, and introduces a lot of new mechanics that were kept in the future games. It features NPCs with their own agendas and a much more fleshed out world. You gain experience points in the game, and would you look at that?
You can level up.
This also happens. This is a game that inspired so many after it, and is worth going back to in order to see how the series evolved, but maybe another time for me. The third and my favorite game on the system, and the wackiest one of the bunch, is The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. This is a masterpiece of a game, released on the Game Boy and showcases the best of the Legend of Zelda games from this era. They included the original Game Boy version of the game instead of a Game Boy Color's DX version for reasons.
Yep.
This game has almost no tie-ins with the original Zelda story.
Yep.
It doesn't take place in Hyrule, and there is no Zelda.
Okay.
This time Cupcake has to use his secret identity and awaken the Windfish by collecting special instruments.
Yep.
Structurally, it doesn't differ from most Legend of Zelda games. You explore the world, find a dungeon, clear its mysteries, fight a boss, collect an important item, and do it again. The map is smaller than most other Zelda games, and the progression in this game feels a bit more linear, as you need to collect certain items in order to progress to new areas of the map, making it feel like I could find a sense of direction in this game. This doesn't mean that the game still isn't confusing at times and still has me running in circles. Like, where are the bananas? There are still secrets hidden in places where only a guidebook can find them. But overall, this game feels like a good one to ease into the older Zelda games and get to know the structure better. So I'm going to be spending some more time on this one. You can pause any of the games and switch over to a different game or feature, and then later pick it back up where you left it. The system's design is more in line with the older screen Game & Watch systems. The D-pad feels amazing and the buttons are soft but responsive. The buttons' positions feel a bit low and can get uncomfortable when playing for long periods of time, but still works great overall. The system has a few special hidden features to discover, and it makes me feel like a kid again when playing the system. The battery lasts quite some time and offers hours of playtime before it needs recharging. All the games included on the system can offer hours of fun, making it an awesome item to add to your gaming collection or a great gift idea. But like any other game, it will probably end up on your shelf when you're done with it.
I've got to get going before they catch up. Best of luck to you.